Welcome to the Coach's Corner podcast, a platform where we get together to share our experiences, industry insights, and create discussions that challenge our own biases and thought processes behind everything that we do. This podcast is brought to you by our partners, Iron Edge, who are industry leaders in high-performance strength training equipment in Australia. If you're after any strength training equipment and spot something of interest, I'll then connect with the team over at Iron Edge and I'll see if I can snag you a better deal. Now over to the podcast. Okay guys, welcome back to episode 9 of the Coach's Corner podcast. Today we have Bonnie Deas back in after a stint over in America. We had Bonnie on, I think it was episode 3 or 4 before she headed overseas. So we'll touch on that today. But really excited to have you back on the show, Bon.
Thank you. Excited to be back here.
For sure. So last time we spoke, it was very much about, your upbringing. First of all, lots happened over the last 12 months. And when we caught up last time, it was very much about your upbringing, how we got to where we are today. We spoke about your life growing up, junior basketball, into the Sydney Flames, into the Oz 19 World Cup, which we'll touch on as well, and then now in the college system. So want to give us a quick update as to what's been happening?
Yeah, I guess I've moved over to America. Been living there in Arkansas for 9 to 10 months. Did my World Cup just before I went over there. We came second. Now I've transferred from Arkansas to UCLA, so now I'm moving to LA, and now I've just been chilling here at home, kind of catching up with the family. Since then. Yeah,
cool. So we had a huge response after your first podcast, and we've kept in touch over the period you've been over in the States as well, hence why we're back in here. Tell me a little bit more about, the move back to sort of Melbourne for this short period, and what have you been looking forward to the most?
Like being back here with the family and stuff. I think just like hanging out with my brothers, being back where I've grown up, just spending family time with friends, and just trying to make the most out of it. Like obviously like athletes, we put so much pressure on ourselves to always be doing like something, but I'm just been trying to like stay present, stay with the fam and friends, and just do what I want to do here before I go back and work really hard in the States.
When do you go back?
June 16th.
June 16th, cool.
Yep.
I'll make sure to note that down. So last time we caught up, it was just before the Under-19 World Cup. Mm-hmm. You were carrying an injury, I believe it was the foot.
Yeah, it was my tibia stress reaction.
That's right. I remember we were preparing well for that. Do you want to talk me through how that eventuated? Because obviously we were watching a lot on TV, didn't have too much contact with you at the time.
Yep.
How did you manage through that situation with playing games, training? Obviously games would have been scheduled and crammed in back to back.
Yep.
How did you manage all of that?
So I took it slow because we did a pre-Worlds tournament in Portugal. So I'd just kind of be managed at the trainings because we'd train twice a day, I think, or it was once a day, and it was like a long session. So I just be managed, just kind of do the stuff that they needed me to do. And then games, I kind of was managing the practice games. And then when it got to the World Cup, it was kind of go. And then if, it was kind of bothering me, I'd just kind of sit out for trainings a little bit, just do the stuff that was required of me.
Yeah. And were you guys expected to go as well as you did?
No. So we were ranked 5th and we came 2nd. So it was amazing for us. We were just so pumped to come 2nd. Yes, you lose, you get the silver in the grand final, but we were just so happy and proud of ourselves.
Yeah, and from what I could gather from a lot of the social aspect, America were just a unit that we're never going to lose.
Yeah, no, they were a very, very strong team. I think we gave them a run for their money a little bit, but they were just too strong in the end, and they've just got so many talented players. Yeah,
cool. So I did notice an injury again. There was one game where I was watching it. It was because the games were on really early at the gym, so we'll be there at 5 a.m. and we'd throw it on straight away.
That's so good.
And there was one game where you had a big sleeve on your elbow.
Yeah.
What happened?
So it was a tight game. Some girls just absolutely bumped me to the ground, and I've just hit the floor really, really hard. She got a tech for it, but I just split my elbow open kind of thing.
So it was a cut.
It wasn't a cut. It was I don't know how to explain it. This thing in your elbow, you've got this thing in your elbow and it kind of bursted, and I just had to get stitches kind of thing. And it was honestly so painful. So then when I've been at Arkansas, I've had to wear the sleeve, and I'm not a garment person. I don't want to be wearing all that, but I had to wear it. My physio would make me wear it. And I actually did the other thing, my other elbow. So I was wearing 2 arm sleeves. Felt ridiculous, but
How much were you milking it? Because I messaged you one day, I'm like, Bonnie, this is a bit much. You're milking this.
No, I got so many messages about it because I was, wearing the braces, wearing 2 arm sleeves, and then I had a shoulder thing as well on gosh, I was not looking pretty, but...
And managing the foot at the same time.
Yep. Doing a bit of everything.
Yeah, cool. So let's move on now. So we've got the silver.
Yep.
That's all concluded. Mm-hmm. What happened after that? Did you come back to Australia or did you go straight to America?
I came back to Australia for a little bit, saw the family for I reckon 2 weeks before I headed off.
That's right, because I came over and you
yes.
gave me the ring. That's right, I remember
gave
that.
him the little tan ring. So, yeah, did that. And then, headed off around like August, like 15th. Yeah.
Yeah, and what was the process like when you got there? Because obviously you'd been over to America before, but there was no real return date, was there? It's like, this is happening, this is all going on now.
Yeah.
What was that process like, not only for yourself, but for your family and your brothers?
Yeah, it was a little bit nerve-wracking. Like, it was a, you know, sad goodbye to the family. Like, they all dropped me off at the airport. Yeah, and then, like, when I got to Arkansas, I got picked up, and then every single one of the coaches were there, like, helping me pack all my stuff into my apartment. They kind of got me settled in, and then I went to sleep, and the next day I had, like, all the school stuff on, so I had to do, like touring around the school, doing all my, like, international, like, document stuff, and yeah, it kind of just, like, moved really fast. They didn't let me train for, like, 3 days because I had to do my physicals and stuff like that, but yeah, it all really moved really fast.
Awesome. I want to understand that process a little bit more. So obviously moving across the country, what sort of, I guess, legalities and challenges do you have to go through to actually move over to the States?
Yeah, there's like a lot of documents you have to get done. Like, it's actually really stressful. You just want to make sure you do it like ages before, you know, you're moving, just like with your visa, your I-20. I can't even name all the documents you need, but there's a lot. And then obviously as an international student, like a lot of your American teammates, they can just do online school. But as internationals, we have to have a certain amount of hours we do in class. So yeah, just like there's slightly different things that you'll like notice when you're over there, like compared to what the Americans are doing.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we had Krista Kreines on, who's a S&C coach as well. Then we had Tori Taylor on the last podcast, and the whole system around you have to do well in school to be able to have any opportunity to be able to play. Talk me a little bit through that learning process and I guess the study and the life after sport idea of not just being the athlete, but talk me through a bit more about what courses you're involved with now and what that sort of landscape looks like.
Yeah, no, like schooling's very important. Like if you want to play, like you have to be keeping up with your grades. Like there's a certain GPA you've got to meet, and yeah, that's like obviously the low standard, but yeah, you just got to keep up with your studies. I know for me, like with classes I didn't really understand, I'd get tutors, and like they're really good with that. Like our academic advisor, she would recommend like these tutors and would do tutoring sessions like 2 times a week. So that was really good. But yeah, my first couple classes, I had no idea. Like I was doing American legal studies and then American history, and I was like, wow, like why am I doing these as my first subjects? But you just kind of have to do, you know, whatever subjects you do and just do well in them.
Is that specific to an international student? So any international student would have to do those?
Well, there's just so many different subjects. It really like depends on what degree you're doing.
And what degree are you doing?
I was doing business, but I've changed to sociology now.
Why?
Because the credit scores like moved easier over into that degree than, because I've changed schools now. So yeah.
Okay, so at Arkansas you were doing
business,
and now at UCLA
sociology.
So how do you balance? Let's talk a little bit more about the typical day when you're back in Arkansas. So now you've settled in, you've got the study stuff organized, you've found your feet a little bit more. How does the living arrangements work, first of all? And then talk me through about starting training.
Yeah, so living arrangements, we were pretty lucky. We had great housing at Arkansas. I lived with 3 of my teammates. It was in a 4-bedroom. We all had our own bathroom, ensuite, and we had a living room. So we were in a very like nice facility. And then training, once I got into the thick of things, it was kind of do 2 classes in the morning from 9 till maybe 11:30. Then I'd head straight to the dining hall, have lunch, and then go straight to physio, do my rehab. I was always like managing my shin or doing some other injury rehab sheet. And then would get ready like in the gym, just do some like correctives kind of thing, warm up our muscles and stuff, and then tape, brace, film, and then do like a 3-hour court session. Yeah.
So what's the tape our brace thing?
So that's just like the physio would just tape us just before sessions because it was a mandatory. I would brace. I just found it easier. Sorry.
And video?
Yeah, we'd do film. So we'd do film maybe for like 30 minutes. It really depended like where we were in the season. Like in the season we'd do more film than we were in
terms of you're speaking more about like media training stuff.
Oh, sorry, film as in like watching training sessions and like going over like what we did well, what we didn't do well, and just like plays and reviewing like other teams and stuff like that. For sure. Okay, so talk me through a little bit more now about what about the gym training? Because that's something obviously it's biased to our industry and something that we speak a lot about. What does that look like? Yeah, it was very different. It was kind of like a shock to me because we were in there for maybe like 45 minutes tops, maybe an hour, like very occasionally. And like I'm someone who would spend time at the gym for an hour and 20 at like kind of least before I got there. And a lot of like the attitudes with the players, it wasn't necessarily positive towards the gym. And that was kind of a shock to me because I don't know, the people I've been around here with the gym, like, yeah, they kind of love it. But I don't know, a lot of my American teammates and even some of my international teammates just didn't really enjoy the gym like that. And I don't know if that's like a basketball kind of stigma, but yeah, so that was different.
So how did you manage that, knowing that it is so important to you, but the buy-in from the group might not be so great? And then how was the push from the higher-ups, like the coaches, that they're the ones implementing the program?
Yeah.
Did they have any say in that as well?
Well, all the girls like obviously did what was required. Like, you know, they're not going to cheat themselves
They tick
at
the
all.
box.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess like I'd just be me. Like I want to get stronger. I want to get better. And I know it's important, like an important part of my game. So I want to continue to get better at that. So yeah.
And what does a gym program look like?
My gym S&C, he was very like cautious of what we're doing on court because we'd do a lot of running. So he was very, he'd incorporate a lot of mobility. We didn't have too many plyos like in our sessions, but it was more just a lot of like cleans, a lot of front squats. When it would be like a heavier week, we'd do like a circuit. It'd take maybe 30 minutes, kind of just go around in a circle, doing like different exercises. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how does that map out around game schedules?
I think it was really good because like obviously you don't want to be too sore. Like we play 30, like minimum 32 games in a season. So I think he was very like strategic with, you know, not making sure our bodies weren't too sore. And yeah, just making sure that we were just staying on top of things, like doing enough not to get injured or like cause anything else to happen, but also making sure like, yeah.
Because I can imagine the travel constraints would also impact that too. Is it a similar component to here, whether it's like home and away, or do you have like 4 home games in a row, then 3 away games, or how does that sort of...
It honestly like is random. Like you could be having 2 away games that week, or you could be having 1 home, double home. Yeah, really. Yeah, just varied.
Okay, cool. So 32 games in the season. That brings us to the end of the season. Arkansas didn't have the greatest time. How did you manage that? Obviously, first time over there. I think I asked you last week when you came in the gym, what did you really battle with? And you mentioned that was one of those.
Yeah.
Talk me through that from obviously first year there, 20-year-old girl, halfway across the world. I think you guys lost 16 in a row at that point.
Yes.
Talk me through how you felt mentally and emotionally.
Yeah, obviously it was tough for like the whole group. No one had really lost 16 games in a row. Like it's pretty full on. But I think the most important thing was that we like still stuck together. We still pushed out every training session, and we kind of just had to like reset. Today's a new day. We're going to accomplish what we can accomplish and just try and get better. Yeah, like 16 in a row was tough, but I think just trying to, you know, mentally reset and just know what my long-term goals were and short-term goals and just try and still get better was just kind of like the approach I took.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. Bonnie, I do want to touch on a little bit deeper about how that made you feel during that time. I guess, you know, you girls sticking together is great. That's why sport's so good. But was there anyone specific that you lent on, like Kaya, or I know you're close with Sunny, but obviously the distance was really difficult. So help me understand that a little bit more and how you overcome it, who you lent on, and that process.
Yeah, definitely my family. Like I definitely lent on them. You know, Kaya, Sunny, mum, dad. They were always there for me, but you know, obviously with the time difference, it was kind of hard. So I think like it took a lot of like discovering just like how I'm feeling, kind of like trying to pinpoint like why am I feeling like this, and then seeing what I could do about it. So like, for example, if I have a bad game with my like finishing like at the rim, well then I've just got to get in the gym, do more stuff. You know, obviously managing my body, not being silly, but just, you know, doing touch shots like before training, more like left hand stuff, kind of like that. So just like noticing what's making me feel a certain way, or like where could I be better in the game to improve for myself and for the team to contribute to wins. But yeah, just kind of like taking that approach, but definitely lent on my family like when time was, you know, rough, because I'm there for basketball, and when basketball isn't going well, like that's really hard. So
So how did you disconnect from basketball then? So let's say those aspects are great for the game, but let's remove the game again and go more about, okay, was there anything you did from a mindfulness point of view? Was there any sort of breath work that I'm just throwing out examples here, that you might have lent on, or even mentors and coaches that you might have been able to have a chat to?
I think I just had great teammates that knew how to like just have some fun and just because a lot of them don't want to go pro, so they just want to do college. And I don't know, they just had they were really good at just taking their mind away from the game, and they helped me with that a lot. So they would just, particularly my American teammates with their cars, like would just go on a drive, like go to a coffee shop and just talk. And I love coffee and just being in new cafes and stuff like that. So I love doing that with them. And they really did help me disconnect from the game when that's all I'm there for and all I think about.
Yeah,
so I really appreciate my teammates that did that for me.
So obviously you've been almost forced to develop in many aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Being a 20-year-old girl, moving across the world, having a tough season whilst you're there for a thing that you're supposed to be doing. Yes, you're able to lean on your teammates, didn't have your family. So what was the biggest learning that you were able to take away over the year?
I think from like a basketball perspective, like there's just so many gaps in my game that I want to improve. And I'm not trying to say this as like a negative thing, but there's just so many things that I can improve on. And I knew I had a lot to, develop in my game, but I'm just thankful that season like really showed me what specific things that I can really work on to be better. Yeah, so I'm like thankful and grateful for that.
Of course.
Yeah.
You have to be. We're just taking a quick breather to hear from our other broadcast partner, Lumin Sports. Every strength coach has got one, but is it the right one? We're of course talking about S&C programming software. It's so important as it's basically an extension of you as a coach. Lumin Strength is the strength programmer choice for coaches, including us here at Peak. Is it time that you made the switch? Head to luminsports.com. Back to the podcast. So we've now moved to UCLA. I want to dive into that whole shit show, I guess, for lack of a better term, about a lot of the questions I had off Instagram was about the transfer portal and that whole process. First of all, how did that even come about?
Yeah, so obviously it was a really hard decision, like leaving Arkansas because I loved it there, loved the fans, loved living there, loved my teammates and coaches. But I think long-term wise, I've got to think for myself long-term, and development's like a massive thing for me. So I thought, I needed a different place to do that, to develop. And yeah, UCLA, talking to their coaches and their staff and just seeing, their squad, they just had 6 people leave to go to the WNBA. So that has development written all over it. And I know their coaches are really, really good coaches. So that is kind of why I chose UCLA and decided to move.
I heard that is it starting 5 or 6 on the court?
Starting 5.
The whole starting 5 got drafted.
Yeah. Plus another person.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. So what does that process from the start look like? What's the first conversation?
Yeah.
What's the first conversation about the transfer portal and what does that entail?
Yeah, so I guess after season, you kind of get like a 2-week mandatory break that they have to give you. And then, you kind of have a sit-down meeting with your coaches and just discuss the season and intentions of leaving or staying. And I had 2 of those meetings with my coaches, and it took me honestly like a while. Like it took me ages to decide whether I wanted to stay or leave. But obviously I decided to transfer, and then you enter your name like into a portal, and there's a portal opening date. I don't know what date specifically it was this year, but as soon as that opens, then any coach from any college team can contact you and get into contact and just start talking about potentially moving there.
Can you give us any insights into how many clubs and coaches reached out?
I couldn't really know, like there was a lot, so I don't really have a number.
Yeah, that's fine. So how did you make sure that UCLA was the right fit for you?
Yeah, well, I had to like list down my priorities and like what I wanted. So yeah, I just kind of had to do that and what was the most important to me. And then obviously like doing my own research, and I was very thankful to have agents. I've just signed with Lighthouse Agency and they helped me out tremendously. So
quick plug.
Yeah, quick plug. So very grateful for them. Yeah, so I just kind of had to narrow down like my options and like what school kind of like ticked those boxes for me.
Yeah, cool. All right, so you've made the move.
Yep.
You're now in LA.
Yep.
I've been to LA once. Crazy city.
Yep.
You can kind of go one side and it's the lowest of lows in terms of things like the homelessness and the things you can see in that environment, especially down towards Hollywood. Where exactly are you in LA?
So I'm in Westwood, which is like next to, I think it's like a suburb over from Hollywood kind of thing. It's near... I don't really know yet.
Because you can literally go from there and you can go across one street and it's the most stunning suburbs you can ever see.
I think it's like Beverly Hills. It's like the suburb next to Westwood. Yeah.
Yep.
So trying to get my geography,
bearings.
right? Yeah.
So you've made the move over. Talk me through who you're living with, how the housing arrangement's organised.
Mm-hmm.
I assume it'll be relatively similar to to Arkansas in that process,
Yeah.
given it's a college.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. So I'm going to be living like with 3 of my teammates. Yeah, we
Have
get
you
our
met them
own.
yet?
I've met some of them, because a lot of us are transfers, because, you know, they lost 6 of their really talented players. So a lot of us are transfers and hadn't really met yet. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. How long did you have to explore and stuff before? Because you went to, was it the Bahamas you went to?
Yeah, I went to the Bahamas, quick little girls trip.
So you didn't spend too much time, once you made the move, you didn't spend too much time, I guess, settling. You were spending time doing a bit of holidaying?
Yeah, a bit of holidaying. Yeah, so March is like when our season finished, like at the start, had 2-week kind of break, then went to the Bahamas with the girls, and then came back, kind of just started packing, and then went to LA for 2.5 weeks and did some workouts, in Southern California with J-Law. So that was good.
Is that at the college?
No, that wasn't at the college. That was just kind of separate.
So is that like a private coach similar to what I'd be?
Yeah, like a personal trainer. He trains like some really good athletes, like NBA players and stuff like that. So
How'd you find him?
through my agency.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's really good.
Do you want to give him a shout out?
Yeah, shout out to J-Law for helping me with the workouts.
We'll throw that
and
on.
the agency.
How's he compare to Peak?
Oh, well, it's a bit different. Like it's basketball, like gym. So
Okay. So it's no gym work. It's
that's just basketball on court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I got you. So that's all happened.
Yep.
You've come back home,
Yep.
seeing family and friends, ticking some boxes, which is great. What's next? What's going on? So you're here until June 16th?
June 16th, yep.
And then what happens there?
So I'll stay for 2 weeks over there, and then I'm flying back to Australia because I'm going to be in the Australian Opals team.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so this is actually unannounced. So I think it gets announced this week, but I'm sure by the time this is released, it'll be fine. So
I'll release it at the same time.
I didn't tell the other podcast this. So yeah, so I'm going to be coming back to do the Australian Opals campaign for a little bit. So we played 2 games against China, which would be really cool. And I did not imagine myself being able to play with the Australian Opals like this early. Like I told UCLA that I would not be doing any Australian stuff till like after college, because I didn't think it'd be a possibility, because now I'm not a junior, like I'm a senior. So
And they're fine with that?
yeah, they're really good with it. And that was one thing I loved about it. Like they were completely fine with me doing Australian commitments and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it's all part of your development, isn't it?
Yeah, yep.
So we have to get ourselves an Opals jersey.
Yep.
I'm sure that jersey will be easier to find than
Yes,
the
for
women's
sure.
UCLA.
Yeah.
Any idea on what number you are?
I don't know yet. No, I
Okay.
have no idea.
I need to figure that out quick.
Yes, yeah. But no, I'm so excited. So that's like from July 2nd till July 9th. So I'll be back. Melbourne.
Oh,
We played John Cain Arena.
fucking let's go.
Yeah.
Front row tickets, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, we're on. Okay. Wait, what date?
So that's July the 2nd till July 9th.
Oh, good. Baby won't be here yet.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe closer.
Late July. Yeah, late July.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Sweet.
We're locked.
Yep. 100%.
Okay, so we finished that.
Yep.
And then what happens? So you go back to UCLA.
Then I go back to UCLA.
And it's full on from there.
And we're going on an international tour.
Jesus, okay.
Yeah, no, a lot of flying. I don't know where we're actually going yet. Someone told me Japan, but I don't want to say it's Japan. So somewhere. But I'm
Wild.
so excited.
Yeah, wild. Okay, cool. Gym program during that time. I saw the program you've got from UCLA.
Yep.
Great program. Looks awesome. Will you just continue to follow that? Or
Yeah.
will you get anything from the Opals? Or how does that operate?
Nah, I don't know what the Opals will be like, because I mean I'm with them for like a week and a half.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll just honestly like do whatever they're doing as well. But yeah, I've just got the UCLA program at the moment, going through that.
Wild. What are your biggest goals for the year coming? So you've ticked off it. This is a big one you're about to tick off. So how does it work in terms of there'll be a squad?
The Australian Opals.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so it's a squad. So no WNBA players are in it, like that are Aussies that are over there at the moment, because they're in season. So that feels like a couple gaps into like the squad.
how many's in the squad?
I think it's 12.
So do you
maybe?
think you'll get court time?
I would be very surprised if I was getting court time, because there's some, crazy names that I'm playing with. So I'm just honestly like so grateful I get to be putting on the jersey alongside them and just training with them.
100%.
Yeah.
Tracksuit and everything.
Literally, no,
come
I'm
on.
so keen.
Yeah, sick. Okay, let's dive into, we've got a few Instagram questions.
Yep.
So funny that a lot of them actually came from America. I didn't know if I had American followers or they come off, you're resharing to ours, or I'm not too sure. This is probably the biggest question. I'm going to ask this first. How does US coffee stack up against Melbourne coffee? And don't sit on the fence. We had a chat about this pre-podcast.
I'm not going to sit on the I won't sit on the fence.
Okay, we'll go.
Well, I'll tell a little story. I brought a coffee machine over there, and I was like, I paid $150 to get Melbourne beans shipped over. Took 2 months to get them too. So, you know, I love my Melbourne coffee, but I was pretty thankful that Arkansas have Onyx over there, and they're actually rated first in the world for coffee out of 100. There's a list of 100 cafes that do coffee, and they're like number one. So I was like pretty blessed to have them right around the corner. So every game day I was picking up their coffee. Not saying that Melbourne coffee isn't better, but their coffee was really good. But I do have my Melbourne favorite coffee stores here. So yeah.
Okay, so you got to answer the question.
Okay.
Which coffee's better? You need to.
I've got to say Melbourne
Yeah,
for
good.
sure.
I was going to say don't let your standards
Because
drop.
like you said, like you can go anywhere in Melbourne and it's a good coffee. So yeah.
Next question was from Annabelle. What was your experience being in the transfer portal?
Yeah. It was honestly really good. The first time, like before committing to Arkansas, I was very stressed. I did it all by myself. And I'm someone who gets very stressed, and I just want to make sure I make the right decision. This time I had agents, which made it a lot easier for me. I didn't have to, I don't know, do everything I did last time, and they just made it really easy for me. So I'd say it wasn't too stressful. Yeah, it was pretty easy. You know, just set up calls with colleges and just kind of did that. So
Yeah, because I think that was probably the question I got asked the most. I've only put down 5 here, but we probably got a good 20 or 30. And the transfer portal is something I know absolutely nothing about.
Yeah.
So when we were talking off air before, I guess maybe it's just a question of the authenticity of why people are in it.
Yeah.
Where they might be chasing money or a better deal, as opposed to you're very committed to your development.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone has their different reasons. Like, yeah, it could be wanting more money. Like it's your last year, you just want to, you know, finish college with more money, or development. Like development's the biggest thing for me. Like I'm thinking long term. Like I want to just be constantly getting better, going to the WNBA. And then, yeah, it could just be like positions on teams, things didn't work well for them. There's just so many reasons like why someone could transfer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Chase asked, what's the process around moving from Arkansas to UCLA? We've touched on that. And Dominic asks, what are you most looking forward to about LA in general?
Yeah, I mean, LA and Arkansas, they're pretty different.
Your socials have glammed up a bit over the last couple months.
I have been posting a lot more on the story, a lot of coffees, a lot of beach. I have been enjoying the aesthetics of LA for sure.
Don't forget you're a Melbourne girl.
I am a Melbourne girl. But yeah, no, I guess just, yeah, it's just a different lifestyle. Yeah, I'm very excited to be near the beach. I won't lie. I'm very excited. I used to do morning game day dips all the time.
Epic.
Could possibly bring those back. In Sydney, I did them with one of my roommates. Yeah, and I guess I'm just excited to just be like in UCLA colours, like, and just with the team. Yeah, I'm just really excited.
The blue looks good.
Yeah, I do love blue. Yeah.
And then Jess asked, what advice do you have for any young players looking at the college system for their development?
Yeah, you definitely develop over here. It's a different game. They work very hard. Like a lot of my teammates before I left for college told me it was going to be hard. And, you know, like I've been through some hard things, you know, I was like, yeah, you know, it'll be hard. Like I know. It's hard. Like it is actually very hard, the conditioning, the mental side, like being away from family. So yeah, you do develop a lot. Like your character develops a lot.
You went to swear then.
Yeah, I was gonna swear, but I didn't. So sorry. Yeah, you do develop a lot in different ways, and a lot of people might think you come back to Australia like acting a little bit different, and you know, no surprise, you've just, you know, grown up in a whole different environment with a whole bunch of different people halfway across the world. So, yeah.
I guess, yeah, it is very admirable. I said it so much on the last podcast, but even having you here the last few weeks and just seeing how you hold yourself, the way you interact with us and those around you, it's truly inspiring. So keep doing great things for your sport and the people that look up to you. It's really difficult when... I mean, you're only 20, which is wild, but when you spend your time growing up looking up to certain people and you blink and all of a sudden people are looking up to you, it must be a crazy feeling, almost like an imposter syndrome in some respects.
Yeah, no, it is really crazy. Like I had a lot of people in my DMs like before deciding if I transferred, not telling me to stay. And it's just like, And just a lot of little girls like coming up to me, like commenting on my TikToks. Like it honestly like means the world, that knowing that now I'm inspiring little girls to be where I am, kind of thing. When I had, you know, role models for me when I was just, you know, a couple years ago, and I still have role models that I look up to. So yeah, it's kind of, yeah, really, really cool.
Fantastic. Keep doing great things, Bon.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. I've got one more surprise for the end of it. I think you already know about it, but we've got this. I've been kitted up.
Yup.
We'll get it off.
He's gotten the UCLA gear before me, which is
Got the gear before you?
Yeah. Gear before me. He's a real one.
I've got the ball too. So, I mean, I ordered it, but thanks for writing on it. So I've got, what is this? What's Bruins?
Bruins, I couldn't even tell you like what a Bruin is. Like, I actually have no idea, but go Bruins.
So I've got UCLA on the back there, and then Bond just written a nice little note. So to Gill-Furness and the PKHQ team, thank you so much for all your help. Best gym on the peninsula, Bonnie.
Yup.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Thank
Awesome.
you for having me.
Cheers. Thanks for tuning in to the Coach's Corner podcast, brought to you by our broadcast partners, Iron Edge and Lumin Sports. Please share around on your social platforms, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you next time.